Boom, boom, boom. Chapter 4. That's right. It's called Battle at Geezerville. Dun, dun, dun. Quarantine. The minority that used to be the majority. The majority minority. He is the last one. He's been accused of killing his father, the second to last one of the race majority minority that you are. Used to be the minority, now you're the majority. Now soon you'll be gone, right or wrong. Unless, unless there's a whisper. Who might know? Anyway, you got to get out. He has, in the future, the police put insert. They insert shame tags inside. Outside, they have the disease on your skin. The more crimes you do, the more disease you get. The more laws, the more criminals. Even just crossing the border, you'll get more disease everywhere. Soon people become mummies, too far, too corrupt. But our hero and his friends, they're going to leave that place behind, even though if the wizards of the Wi-Fi, the Y wizards, the wisers, the whiz wisers, they're called wizards. They're the only ones that can use Wi-Fi now. Very few people can broadcast. Only these special eyes that they used to be inside his friend Balbe. They had to go save him, even though his friend was dead. They saved his friend's eyes, which have been recording. So now they got to get out of the city, out of the range of the Wi-Fi wizards. They only have one Wi-Fi wizard working for them. That's right. We'll call him Hazmat. How about that? The Hazmat wizard. Maybe his name was Matt. Hazmat wizard. All right. Um, or Mr. Magic, whatever you want to call him. Now, as they were leaving, they had a thought, and they turned around to see Raven. Oh, yes. She called out to them. She didn't call him Sonny Goldhawk Garrison. She didn't call him the man. She called him by his animal brotherhood name. It's not Tiger, Wolf, like you thought it would be, because he's a killer. But his name is Rabbit. Rabbit, she called out. He turned and was shocked that it was her, someone from the past. He had given up on the past and given up on her. Rabbit, I am here. I am here, dear. Wow, so many memories rushed back to him. He turned to Banor, Strong Skip, as they called him, but Banor, as we know him. And they turned to Gordon Scratch, who never talked. They saw each other for the first time, even though they've all heard the stories of each other. You know how that is. Oh, this is what he really is. There's a chance for you to escape. We know your predicament, and soon the police will find you. It is almost your time, unless, and you know that it takes like 10 minutes to cross the barrier, so they would definitely be able to press the button and deactivate you with poison that's already inside. Just press the button, it sticks you. They could do it over and over again. We have one chance. One chance, Raven said, and she brought the chance with her. We have one chance if we get enough people in the city to commit crimes at the same time. The massive crime wave will overload the computers. And they will be down for 12 minutes. Exactly 12 minutes, and you must get across the field in that time. 12 minutes. Can you do it? And the idea was set. And Sonny Goldhawk Garrison, the rabbit, he shook his little tail. He lifted up his ears. He said, I'm all ears when you're talking like that, baby. And he put his arm around her. He broke that 3 foot, 6 foot, 12-foot limit people have. He broke it in a second. And they decided the only place to go is the Geezerville. Geezerville is where people threw out their old unwanted parents and grandparents, or If the parents lost there, more likely the children were gone, and there was no one left to take care of them, the unwanted ones. In fact, it is known by Goldhawk Garrison. He's the last of his race and detested by many old. His race, of course, was blamed. His race, your race, you are to blame. So, to earn extra tofu ticks, Sonny would put on clown makeup, full hair, even a mask sometime. So sure, use that mask, something different. You need it for breathing as well, but he would use a clown mask to make people smile. He was always a good clown, and it hid his race. He would show up as a clown, and they would even say, "Wow, you showed up as a clown," even though he'd have to go through the protocols. They never knew who he was, but he knew at Geezerville that they had a shoot. It would dump people. It would dump people in the middle of the no man's land in the zone. That might give him an extra minute or two. Ah, so it was. They called up their friends. They set the time. Stands lied. The stands flew in on their drones first, threw in mist. Whoosh, whoosh. Then it always mix. They call them a mix because they had these names. They were always these McGregor. Oh, he had these thick legs. McCartney. Oh, he swung his guitar at people. But those held off all the other of our heroes. But the worst of them all, Mick Jagger. He landed kicking, using his chicken walk. Boom! He kicked Sonny right towards the door of the Geezerville. Ah, they went through the first protocol. Everyone knows to get into a building of old people or the mall, the public buildings, you need to go through six protocols. First, there was the mist. They rolled together, fighting hand to fist in the mist. Fist, fist, fist. Guns had fallen out, and there were no way to take metal objects in. That is the second barrier. All metal objects stick to the side of the walls. So the man's knives and guns, they stuck to the second barrier of protection. Ah, then they tumbled head over head, headbutting in the next one, and they had to stop, put their hands, because you had to get each person had to get gloves, but you couldn't touch gloves, so they had to hold them in place while the 3D printer made gloves for you. And if you did not do that, there would be pain. There would be pain. There would be shocking. There would be a sound. They both knew that. They held their hands out when they were told to, but they kept fighting with their feet. They kept kicking. They kept tagging each other. Ooh, Sonny got a blow to the side, but he returned one to Mick Jagger's groin. Oh, which had seen lots of action, but that means it was good at it. The third protocol. Oh, the third protocol is for the feet. Very similar. They put your 3D printer made shoes for you, but what it also did was check your toenails because this disease was in your toenails. So this took longer, but you could not move. If you moved, the sound would get immense and cause you to freeze. And both men tried to punch each other. Finally, their shoes were finished, and they fist punched, and their feet kicked, and they went on to the fourth protocol. The fourth protocol. The fourth protocol told how long your life expectancy was. This thing shot down. Whoosh, somehow the old technology, it is long forgotten array. But it said, when it got to Sonny, it said 1 hour. Mick Jagger, it said 2 months. These men had low life expectancies, but what did the machine know? We do not know. The fifth protocol was the eyes. You had to hold up. Because the eyes, they see many things. And Sonny Goldhawk Garrison, he would have failed that test. Instead, he held up the eyes of his friend, the eyes of Baobei, the blue eyes. They let him pass to the last protocol. Jagger, He had trouble. One of his eyes was damaged in the fight. So Sonny got ahead of him, and one protocol ahead. He went to the last protocol, the bag. The bag. Ah, the bag goes around. The first time it goes around you, you think you're gonna drown. You think you're gonna drown in no air. The bags everywhere. In his last moment, Sonny managed just to rip Jagger's bag, and he had to do it twice. So Sonny got out, and he knew he had 35 seconds. So he sat up. He went into the main room, but this time he greeted the people and he waved, and he almost forgot. He forgot that he did not have a clown face on. And they pointed at him, "Oh, you're that minority." And they spewed, all these old people spewed the hate that they were born with, the hate that they grew up with at him. It was his race. It was your race. It was your race. And they used racial slurs, all the slurs of your people, the worst ones. The worst ones, they called him. Oh, and he grabbed the worst of them. He grabbed the worst. The old man, he was the worst. All these people were in these special wheelchairs. And these special wheelchairs, they had magnet type things that made it so they could not push within 6 feet of another person, another wheelchair. So he, your people's disease killed my family and my family's family. He went on, but Sonny did not hear it. Instead, he turned, he grabbed a mop, he held him, and it was going to be a joust. It was going to be a joust as soon as Jagger rolled out. He grabbed an old lady, and they jousted. He grabbed the knife that the old lady was cutting a cake with. They jousted using old people in wheelchairs. Yeah! The first pass was a slash. He cut off half of the mop. Oh, but that helped because it made it sharper. The second pass, oh, the old lady was into it. Ooh, the other guy, he tried to jump off, but Sonny held his neck. There was a slash. There was blood, but it was the old man's blood. Ah, but he thanked Sonny. As he died, that old man thanked Sonny. Thank you. I wanted to see your people one last time and say I'm sorry. I know it wasn't you. I know it wasn't you. And he threw his body off and he jumped proper in the chair. And the third pass was his. The third jousting pass was his. And he hit true through the neck. Through the helmet of the stand. Mick Jagger would sing no more. He tossed his body to the side. He looked at his watch. Oh no, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. He had to get there. His friends had already circumvented, gone to the back where the chute was. Sonny had to go. He took the body of the dead man and Jagger. He took both their bodies and he rode them down the chute. He rode them to where no living being had been before. Even the people who made this had used robots to make these. Outside, Gordon Banner had fought the rest of the troop, the stands. They had used half robot troops, of course. These were easy to deal with. Hazmat, the wizard on their side, could control them from a distance once he knew their serial numbers on their foreheads. So, but Gordon wouldn't call them out. He would tap on the sounds. Raven was a great fighter. She whipped around her long black hair, took out many men, many stands, but more were coming until the city started to ignite with people doing crimes, people getting close together in the malls, people disobeying the checks, running through the barriers without doing the protocols, running through the protocols, breaking all these laws, stepping into the grass where it said, do not use the grass, do not use this, do not do that. Signs everywhere. There's signs. People would break the signs, break the glass. Alarms started to go off in schools and houses and churches and temples everywhere. everywhere. Everyone did a little wrong. And it, the system went down the slide, Sonny, and he landed on the bodies that stopped his fall. He knew he was behind time and he was hurt. He was hurt. So he started to run. He saw the path where his friends had gone before him, but they did not need to get out before their bracelet. He saw it tick down. It's down to the last minute. He ran. He needed to stop. Oh, that blood from the side, but he remembered that old man's voice. The old man had said, begged forgiveness, or asked forgiveness at the right time. He too needed forgiveness. He asked his body to forgive him because he got up and he continued to run. He continued to run and he made it. He crossed that line. He saw the back of the tower and he saw his shame tag. Beep, 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 beep. Execution imminent, execution imminent, execution imminent. Signal lost. Yes. His favorite number became 404. 404. He looked, and his friends were there, wounded, breathing hard, but they were alive. And they had escaped Quarantine E. Woohoo! And then something worse happened. Dun dun dun! Tune in next time to find out what happens on Escape from Quarantine E with a Vengeance. Chapter 5 next time. Ha ha! Geezerville. Hope you guys like the Geezerville. Deep thinking of this last night. The Geezerville, what it's going to be like for old people who's lost a whole family and they just put down a chute. I mean, that's not too far off, folks. So let's make sure this 2040 is a twisted story and not no reality. Let's make it a world where we don't really have to escape, just escape in our books and our minds.